Hi and welcome. The following are some clips from a live training called Break the Burnout Cycle. This introductory training was for entrepreneurs, nonprofit leaders, and people in corporate spaces, but it's really for anyone who wants to explore the personal patterns and underlying beliefs that contribute to and keep us stuck in burnout. Because I don't believe burnout is just for one experience. Or one role that we play. And so the fact that there's so many different people that are going to have been invited and said yes to this workshop and are represented here from different sectors lets us know what we already know, that burnout is an issue, right? We're not here to debate that. Right? Have any of you experienced burnout in more than one role, more than one experience? And so we start what this workshop today is. I believe, I'm going to use the word wicked problem. I believe that burnout is a wicked problem at crisis. That means to me that it requires lots of ways to address it. Holistically, whether you're part of a team or an organization or leading or a business, there are business and cultural things to support people and to create the culture that's supportive to lessen burnout. There's also ways that individually that we get to show up differently. And I know some of you already, so I know that you've navigated and you show up differently than you used to. And so you have understood that you have you have power in this experience. You don't start to, within the experience, shift the way that we respond to our external pressures. And so today, I fully acknowledge so many of you have external pressures that are very significant for you and the communities that you're supporting too. But for today, it's about you and your experience. I'm Jill Vinn, and so I am a stay-at-home mom turned nonprofit co-founder, co-leader, turned entrepreneur who's leading a coaching and consulting business. And it's taken me a bit to come to a place where I'm like, what is it that I can offer? What is it? How can I bring my lived experience to others so that others don't have to feel the pain that I have experienced in my life? Because I don't believe that burnout has to be a given. I may hear that from myself in the past, and I may hear that from the people I love, that there's no other choice, that we just have to keep going. And I don't agree with that. I do believe that we get to understand ourselves better so that we can live in the spaces and we can grow and thrive in our lives. So I want to normalize that it's an experience, but I don't want to accept it as the way that we have to live. And so if that resonates with you, you're in the right place. If it resonates with you that, these patterns that show up in our lives get to give us information, then you're in the right place. If you are recognizing, gosh, wow, I keep seeing these patterns both in my personal life and in my professional life. I'm a people pleaser. I overcarry. I'm exhausted. I take on more than my share of things, right? I work and I push and I grind and I attach my worth to doing. Then you're in the right place. Because the work I do as a coach and a consultant is to help you recognize the root, recognize what's underneath the ways that you're showing up in your life, for yourself, for others, for your team, for your community, for your kids, for your partners, you name it. But mostly, I'm here to help you move from where you are today, release what's no longer serving you, which, by the way, did at some point, and help you move forward so that you can live the life that you've dreamed of, that you have imagined for yourself, because it's there for you to live. But we get in our own ways. And burnout can, as you may know, from personal experience or from others that you've witnessed or you've heard about, it can stop you just completely in your tracks. When you are beyond your capacity and continuing to push, and I know people like this who've had to stop work, who've had to stop their path and their careers so that they could come back and take care of their mental health or their physical health. And we don't have to be that way. We don't have to accept that as the plan or the path. So if you believe that also, you're in the right place. I'm going to invite all of you to add a yes or a Y in the chat, or maybe you want an emoji. I love fun emojis, but yes, if this resonates with you. And I'm going to read these. You are feeling pressure that's outside your control, whether it's the economy, whether it's politics, it's resources, time, money, health, or something else. Some area outside of your control is adding pressure. You carry the majority of the load and feel responsible for keeping everything going. Like you carry this weight. And it's a lot. You have a hard time asking for help, even when you need it. We get it. You aren't sure how to take your foot off the gas. Yeah. Hard time knowing what to ask for. So true. I love that addition to this. And that's part of the work also, is getting clear about what you need. And in order to get clear about what we need, we get to slow down and listen to ourselves. I love that. You anticipate that the only way you'll stop or slow down is if something forces you to. I have people in my life who say, I don't actually know how to escape from this. This is just the way it is, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Or maybe you're afraid for someone else in your life, or a team member, family member, friend, partner, a child. Yeah. And lastly, you are burned out right now, or you have been more than once. Health issues starting to show. Our bodies are the last to communicate with us what's going on internally. And actually, thank you for sharing that, Shanna, because a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, and my was feeling like this reflux feeling. I don't know what's pain in me. And I realize I'm doing this to myself. This pattern is showing up again for me. And so I had to make a decision. And that's what I'm inviting all of you to do. If you're feeling this in your body, it's already time to prioritize yourself unapologetically. And what that looks like, you get to decide. So these patterns, you recognize them, of pushing, of grinding, of sacrifice, of hustle, in our culture, in our community, in our homes, in generations past, right? A way of being was necessary. We're here, we're high achieving, we are in the places and the leadership roles that we are because we did some of those things, right? Because we did hustle, because we did push, because we do care. But those same things, we get to pause and say, when is this healthy for me and supportive to me? And when is it not? And that's the work. And you may not know, and that's okay. But if you find yourself having these same patterns showing up, and you're like, I don't know where the gas, like how to slow down, how to do anything, I'm inviting you to then look at what your beliefs about yourself are underneath. Because it's like I said, the patterns are the symptom. The physical issues are the symptom. We get to go deeper.